Hello there, and welcome to Ilum Radio. We are your hosts. I am David Baird Menace, and with me, as always, the wonderful and talented Millie. How you doing tonight, Millie?
I'm doing all right. The weekday after July 4th, 4th of July,
Everyone's a little
everyone's a
crispy today.
little. Yep.
We're all a little crispy. So, what did you do on your July the 4th day there, Millie? You did something pretty cool.
Yep. For those of you who don't follow me on my social media, which you should, down below,
Mm-hmm.
I did a little 4th of July parade troop with the local 501st and Rebel Legion.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my day.
And for those of the uninitiated, what is the 501st?
I'm not officially in 501st, so I can't really explain it. I mean, if you want to explain it, go ahead. I'm not really good at explaining things. You know,
So, like Millie was saying, for those of you
educate, educate the folks.
educate the folks, you're asking the wrong person to do the education. So, for those of you who don't know, Millie and I are part of a costuming group called Saber Guild.
Mhm.
Saber Guild is a performance costuming Star
Performance
Wars
based. Yeah.
performance based costuming Star Wars group, um, and that means we have to look like legit, like we stepped out of a set and from a movie and all that good stuff. Um, what that also says is there's other costuming groups out there. The other one being 501st. Now you may have seen them at many a convention. They're the stormtroopers or the armored people of
Bad
the
guys, essentially.
bad guys, essentially. Yes. And there's them. There's the Mando Mercs. There's the Rebel Legion. So there's a bunch of us, a good amount of us. But
There's
we're
also
all.
Dark Empire.
I always forget about
Like,
Dark
that's like
Empire.
Sith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know why I always forget about them, but probably because I don't see them in our area as much.
So funny and apparently our local Dark Empire also covers Connecticut. So if we
Ah,
were both to join Dark Empire, we'd both be in the same temple. Yes,
that's
it's called a temple. Yeah,
good to know.
yeah. In fact,
Cool,
yeah.
cool.
I know the local Dark Empire leader, I guess. So
Good to
because Dark
know.
Ray is now approvable in both Saber Guild and Dark Empire. Not Bio First yet. There's a draft CRL, aka costume standard type thing. For those of you who don't know what a CRL is, yeah. So yeah, I'm waiting for that to officially get published so I could work off of that officially.
Mm-hmm. Now, before we move ahead, uh, if you guys want to follow us on the social medias, please do so. You can find us at Ilum Radio on Twitter, at Ilum Radio on Instagram, and of course Ilum Radio on TikTok. Eventually, we'll have stuff on there. Just give me a sec. um,
Trust us, we'll upload all the good clips
yep,
from the previous episodes.
yep. Like the employee of the month. Cancel
Yep.
Sheev. What was it? Jedi real estate hunter, whatever we called it. So,
Yes, with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon.
so you'll find
Make it happen, season 2.
it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. So you'll find us there. And if you want to give us, if you want to like tell us something, a certain thing you want us to talk about during the show, send us an email at ilumradiopodcast@gmail.com. So now that we got that out of the way, tonight's episode is a bit of a special one. Tonight's episode is basically about getting to know your podcast hosts, that being myself and Millie. Basically, the idea is what got us into Star Wars, what's our favorite Star Wars thing, be it a movie, show, cartoon, whatever it may be, and just our general love for Star Wars. If you want to comment and tell us about what got you into Star Wars, please, if you're seeing this after the fact, after the live show, put it in the comments below and let us know what got you into Star Wars. What is your Star Wars story, basically?
So, okay. So, obviously, So this is gonna show my age a little bit. So I'm just gonna rewind back to 2005 when Revenge of the Sith came out.
Mm-hmm.
I was 5 years old when that movie came out, so this is really showing my age here, obviously. Obviously at the time I was too young to watch that specific Star Wars movie because it was rated PG-13.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for those of you, for those of you who may not know, the other Star Wars films prior to Revenge of the Sith, so Episode 1, Episode 2, and the original trilogy, those movies are rated PG. So I was pretty much safe to watch those movies, but I wasn't allowed to watch Episode 3. So my parents are really strict about when I was allowed to watch Star Wars. So fast forward a little bit to 2000, I'd say like 2008, 2009, around the time the Clone Wars came out
Mm-hmm.
on Cartoon Network. So I was the right age to like start watching Star Wars. So yeah, I was around the same age to watch like that specific like show.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Clone Wars takes place between episodes 2 and 3. Not episode, yeah, between the events of episodes 2 and 3. Um so kind of waited a little longer to start watching the Clone Wars. So I was about, so fast forward like 2 3 years late, like 1 2 years later, I was like 10 11 years old. I I we had the 2011 like original trilogy and prequel trilogy Blu-ray sets.
Mm-hmm.
So I had access to like all six Star Wars films at the time. You know, before the whole Disney buyout. We'll get there. I was so I started watching from release order, so original trilogy, prequel trilogy. Um, so I was 11. So I was officially 11 when I first started watching Star Wars, all the films, well, at the time. And then I started watching the Clone Wars. Got into that. Again, I was a casual fan. I had like really no Star Wars merch. Not
Okay.
until I had like no Star Wars merch when I first watched Star Wars, those Star Wars movies and the Clone Wars. Then I didn't really get into Star Wars again until Disney announced they were going to be buying Lucasfilm and making the sequel trilogy, like developing the sequel trilogy. So this was like 2014. Once again, I rewatched all of the movies and as well as the Clone Wars. And at that same time, I believe Rebels also came out like in between. Like I believe before I, my mind's really foggy, but I do remember like watching Rebels as well. So I got into that show as well.
I think you're.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that sounds right. So please correct me if I'm wrong. Dave, please look at the chat while I'm like rambling. If Farm Boy, corrects me. So 2014. Um, Obviously, like J.J. Abrams is filming Force Awakens in London.
Mm-hmm.
While
So,
that's happening, I'm like rewatching everything, and then all of a sudden I'm becoming like an actual fan. Like I started to like get some piece of merchandise. Like I didn't get these posters back there till like literally like a month after Force Awakens came out. So and also that like pillow or no pillow.
Yep.
So yeah, fast forward to just like Christmas weekend 2015. Wow.
Yep.
2015. Um I actually watched it on my birthday. So, yeah, Christmas or New Year's Christmas week. So, Watched that on my birthday. Watched my first Star Wars film in theaters. Again, I'm showing my age here because I haven't seen a Star Wars film in theaters, period. So
That's
this was
amazing.
like my first Star Wars film experience in theaters. So then after Force Awakens came out, I was like
You were in it.
obsessed. I was in it. I was obsessed. Like I said, I bought those two Star Wars posters as well as that a pillow back there. And then the same year, a few months after Force Awakens came out, I wanted to cosplay as Rey. So I eventually started to get thrifting pieces for my first version of Jakku Rey, which is obviously that
one
Rey
there.
back there. So I started getting those pieces. Again, they were all thrifted. They were bought from like BJ's, Walmart, you name it. Amazon, Joann's, those stores. So again, I wasn't concerned about screen accuracy at the time when I was like buying these pieces
Sure.
at first. Because I wanted to go to Comic-Con dressed up as Rey, just casually. And actually, no, it was not only because of Comic-Con locally, it was because I also wanted to get it done for Celebration the next year.
Okay.
Again, this is 2016, and then like Celebration 2017 in Orlando was in April, so I had pretty much all of 2016 to like get this costume together before then. So if you get a sense of the timeline here. So finished the costume, wore it to Fan Expo Boston in 2016 first, just to test wear it before Celebration. So this is kind of getting into my costuming history now. So I obviously I was a casual cosplayer. I didn't have any screen accurate pieces other than the cotton tabards. Or, yeah, the tabards are the only screen accurate, I guess, piece of fabric I had.
Right.
So fast forward to 2017, Celebration 2017. Last Jedi hype was real. I remember like everybody being so hyped for the Last Jedi trailer. Me included, as a sequel fan, because that's what really got me into like the Star Wars franchise. And watched it in person with the entire crowd at the Star Wars show stage. Everybody was so excited. Yeah, it was like very, very exciting. I remember I actually have the passes right in front of me from that day. I went Thursday and Friday for 2 days because I wanted to spend some time with a local family down in Orlando. So I didn't really have enough time to spend at Celebration, but I believe I had enough, I guess. I do remember that day I went to Hollywood Studios on Friday, like the after the con on day 2, because that's when Star Wars Night was. So I do remember also experiencing like some Star Wars like meet and greets there for the second time, actually, because I met Chewie and Kylo Ren like the year before. I was visiting my aunt down there. So yeah, so and then so that happened, and then I believe I also no. So then after Celebration ended, I wanted to actually no, I cosplayed Jakku Rey again at Fan Expo Boston 2017, if I remember correctly. I don't remember 2017 Fan Expo that much, but 2018 comes around. Last Jedi came out already. I was super happy about. I was a fan of Last Jedi.
Same.
Month. So I loved her battle outfit.
Here comes the hate now that we said that. Sorry, go on.
So I loved her throne room outfit and crate outfit. Like, that's, like, one of my favorites. We'll get there eventually.
Yep.
But, yeah. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, so 2018 Fan Expo. I believe that year was when I started to realize, I just turned 18. I discover our local, like, Rebel Legion 501st Mando Mercs booth at Fan Expo Boston. I talked to some of the members there. I just turned 18. I wore my I'll say Octo/Resistance Ray costume from Cosplay Sky, so aka my version 1 costume, because I'll eventually, like, upgrade it in the future for it to be screen accurate.
Yep.
But yeah, I was obviously wearing my Resistance Ray, and I remember I talked to Jamie from HoloNet Marauders.
Yep.
Shout out. This was before we became, like, friends, like Legion friends. So, yeah, and I remember she was like, you should totally, like, join the Legions, and also, like, join the Ray Facebook group to, like, you know, help finding, like, screen accurate pieces for Ray's battle outfit. So that was pretty much the beginning of my Rebel Legion journey.
Yep.
So then I spent pretty much all of 2019, or some of 2018, and then most of 2019 getting my costume pieces for the end of Last Jedi Ray, pretty much, aka Crate Ray. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
She's called so many things, but yeah. And fast forward to October 2019. It is I submitted that costume to Rebel Legion. I did not hear back until, like, literally the weekend after, like, Rhode Island Comic Con. I did, however, wear that costume. Like, I first wore that costume to Rhode Island Comic Con just to test, like, how I would do in the costume for a long period of time. I did that the entire con, or not the entire con. I'll say, like, Friday I was in Ray. I got a picture with Jonas.
Oh, nice.
In costume.
That's
can
cool.
Kind of see it up there. So Friday I wore that costume just to get I just wanted to wear that costume to get the picture with Jonas in. Didn't spend a lot of time at the Rebel Legion area because Jamie from HoloNet Marauders was wearing the same costume and also doing the same same shift was doing a shift at the Rebel Legion booth at the same time I was gonna get a picture with Jonas, so I wasn't gonna, like, hang out for long.
Right.
So Saturday I didn't wear my costume because I helped wrangle, aka person not in costume, like, helping out with, like, taking photos and whatnot, like, at Rebel Legion events. So I didn't really do much other than, you know, do that on Saturday, and then Sunday, I did my first unofficial Rebel Legion troop.
Nice.
That was so much fun. I remember the first kid I interacted with. They were, like, so excited to meet Ray. I remember this one kid went up to me and said, "Ray is my favorite character."
Aww.
And my heart melted.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was, like, my Rebel Legion moment if I had to pick one, but there's, like, a lot more now that I've done, like, actually, as of, like, yesterday's troop was my 40th troop.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
You really
So
went hardcore with it, man.
I did a lot of troops during the pandemic, so that's why I did a lot. That's why there were a lot of troops on my plate.
Yeah.
So yeah, like so weekend after Rhode Island, I heard back from my Ray judge. I just had to fix a few things, which was easy. So I did those fixes. Although it did take a little while because it was the day after con and I was busy with college and at the time,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't really have time to like, get the fixes done. So I didn't really get the fixes done until maybe the beginning of December. So yeah, I didn't get those done until the beginning of December. Then I pretty much sent in those pictures to my judge and then literally, so for those of you who may not know, don't may not remember, but some like around the time the Star Wars premiere happened, Star Wars A Rise of Skywalker premiere happened in LA, like the day of, I got my approval message
Nice.
on my email account. So that I do remember that. So that was it was a really exciting day for me because number one, I was gonna like watch the world's premiere live stream from LA
Mm-hmm.
for Rise of Skywalker, and then I got my approval email. So that
That's
was the day I
awesome.
became an official Rebel Legion member.
That's cool. The day like the day the last movie premiere. That's awesome.
Well, in LA,
In
like
LA.
the world premiere,
Yeah.
not the actual like premiere. My first troop was actually a local like Rise of Skywalker like premiere troop. So
Nice.
yeah, so got approved during the LA world premiere and did my first troop at a movie theater showing the Rise of Skywalker. So yeah, and that was before the you know what happened
Yep.
in 2020. So
The dark
yeah,
time.
I didn't do a lot before then for obvious reasons,
Yeah.
but I do remember doing like a zoo event like New Year's Day before that. So yeah, and then fast forward to 2021, so a couple years rolled by, pandemic hit, everyone's like staying at home. I had plenty of time to like work on a couple new costumes. So I submitted my Training Ray and Jakku Ray to Rebel Legion first.
Yep.
And then at the same time, or around I guess a few months later, but like a few months later in May, I submitted my Training Ray to Saber Guild, and I got approved pretty quick. Like literally a couple days after I submitted my Training Ray, I got approved. So
Nice.
I got pretty lucky. So like those of you who don't know how long like submissions usually take, like you don't usually hear back from a judge like after 2 weeks of submitting. So I got pretty lucky there.
For our temple, for here in like in Connecticut, like Kessel Temple. Oh no, they know where I'm at. Oh god. But here in Connecticut, um, I'm the costume counselor. So basically, that means I'm the
Mm,
guy. For those of you who don't know, I am the guy who looks at your costume, helps you create the costume, and make sure you look
yeah.
legit. That's my job as part of the group. And
We don't have one here for obvious reasons. So
right.
we officially do not have a temple quite yet. I'm
Mm-hmm.
working on it. We have like two other members, so because of that, we're officially a squad. So we're not an official temple, but we're an official squad. So we're getting there.
Getting there.
Just need two more people.
That's how we started. We started off as a squad, and then like most temples, obviously, started off as a squad and kind of went from there. I actually wonder when you guys finally officially become a temple, what they're going to call you guys.
I think I think I'll help with the name. I feel like because I'm like I don't know how like leadership works, but like I was the first approved here in Massachusetts, so um,
Right,
we'll figure it out when we get there.
right. I love how like your story is basically. I couldn't see the prequels in theater. I was not
Yes.
really a big fan until the new movies came out, and I've been going hardcore ever since. Like that's like the gist of it, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good summary. Yeah.
No, but it's true though. It's like it's in
Yeah.
and like that's why like I
I feel like
always
that's how most people got into Star Wars. Like young people got into Star Wars.
and like that's what upsets me about when people talk junk about the sequel trilogy or even the prequel trilogy. I was one of the original haters of the prequel trilogy, but I learned to love it over time. But like it's I have friends of mine who are your age or a little older than you, like in their mid-20s, and
Sure.
what got them into Star Wars was the prequel trilogy. That's what got them
Same
into it.
here. Yeah, I have friends who are like a few years older than me, and they were like old-ish enough to like see the prequels in theaters.
Mm-hmm. So for them, that's their Star Wars. That's their version of Star Wars, which is
Yeah.
great. There's like no reason why
Mhm.
that should be. And it's the same thing now with like your age and younger. Like what they first saw in theaters was the sequel trilogy. So for them, that's Star Wars.
Yeah.
Something came in after
Yeah.
that. So it's.
Also, think about the like 5-year-olds now who
Mm-hmm.
like love Kylo Ren and Rey.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, like if you go to a con and see like a little boy, like little kids dressing up as like Rey and Kylo at cons, or even a First Order stormtrooper, you'll see those. And
Mm-hmm.
like their first Star Wars movies were the sequel trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
So please, if you're like hating on the sequel trilogy, like please think about like the younger audience also. Like, come on, guys. Like
Like
everyone has their own like preferences for like, oh, like I grew up with the originals and I don't really like the prequels or the sequels, like blah blah blah. Like I don't know.
I have a buddy of mine. Then I'll get into my story. I have a buddy of mine. I wouldn't really call him a buddy, but he saw the originals in theater. Dope.
Yeah.
But he is like a real big hater of the Empire Strikes Back. For him, Star Wars is just, yeah. For him, Star Wars, the original Star Wars, before it was called A New Hope, Star
So
Wars
like,
is
so like,
Star Wars.
so Star Wars purists like only like Star Wars.
Correct. Because
Wow.
he saw Empire
Okay.
Strikes Back in the theater when he was
Yeah.
like, I think, 20. And he thought it was like BS. Because he's
Oh.
like, oh my god, that's so stupid. How is Darth Vader Luke's father? That makes no sense. And like, that's bad writing. And the whole thing was bad writing, made like it was all incohesive. I'm like, wow. Wow. Even back in those days. Wow. So yeah. Yeah, all the same arguments that people make today about the sequel trilogy, even the new shows, they're being
Oh
made.
yeah, I've been seeing that as well.
They're being made since
Obi-Wan.
Empire Strikes Back. So
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Um, so my story begins, I think, in I was maybe 12. So it was like 97 or 98. I didn't get a chance to look it up beforehand. So someone in chat in
Oh,
the comments correct me in
uh,
the bottom. What's up?
Dave, before you get into your story, I'm just gonna comment on Farm Boy's comment because I didn't look at the comments while I was like rambling. So, yes, Farm Boy, I do have a Conics cosplay.
Ooh.
First in the area, so yeah. I got that approved in 2020 as well.
Nice.
Um, yeah, 2020, 2021. Actually, no. Yeah. Yeah, those two costumes and Conics I got approved in 2020. I had no costume approvals in 2021, so
Nice.
my bad on my part. It's my brain. It's pandemic brain there. Anyway, I apologize. I just wanted to catch up on comments before you ramble.
No, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So, okay. So, either in chat in the comments correct me because I didn't get a chance to look up the exact time frame for it. But I would think I was around maybe 12 years old when I got into Star Wars. And that was around, hang on, because I'm really bad at math, plus 12. Yeah, around 1996, around 1997, around there, right? Hell, it may have even been 95 maybe. But anyway, long story short, never saw Star Wars at all. Knew about it, like because it was at that point like at that point it was really in media, in the culture, but never saw it whatsoever. And the Sci-Fi Channel was hosting a trilogy showing all the Star Wars movies, the original trilogy,
Mm.
and it was hosted by Billy D. Williams.
Oh,
And
cool.
like during the show, or not during the show, like during the movie trilogy, the marathon, between commercials, he would give you like little tidbits about like Star Wars and how certain like things
Mm.
behind the scenes, stuff like that. That was like pretty cool. Um, so that was like my first intro anyway. So I remember I'm like, I figured out it's like middle of summer or whatever it was. I had nothing better to do. Sci-Fi Channel. I'm a big nerd. Cool. I'll watch this Star Wars thing no one's talking about. That everyone's been talking about. And then I just remember clearly like sitting in my living room, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and the TV like exploding with like music and the Star Wars logo and like it's just going down. I'm like, what the hell am I getting myself into? And then like
Greatness.
the scrolling text is coming up, and again, I'm watching on my TV, not in theaters, like
Yeah, yeah.
TV.
I understand. I understand.
Yeah, but even now and then, I still watch TV like with the screen right there, like in my face.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
Rural Farm Boy, what they showed on Sci-Fi was like pre-special edition, I believe, because I don't remember like a
Yeah,
lot of this.
special edition didn't come out till like 98, 97, 98, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, like it was like before Lucas started going nuts with his like different edits and thing. I even think honestly, like the one that showed on Sci-Fi when I saw it, I believe Star Wars was still called Star Wars. It wasn't called Episode 4: A New Hope. It was just Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So this is prior to
Sure. Yeah.
all those changes. I believe.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
Uh, mm,
Yeah.
I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
So it starts off, and it's like the classic, like the blockade runner coming in, and then like the Star Destroyer coming in over the screen. I'm like, this is amazing. So it just kept on progressing, and I thought it was dope that the first characters you meet are machines, are robots, are droids. Like those are the first characters that you actually get to know and meet in this in this story. So at the time, my sister's like boyfriend was living with us, and he came into the living room. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like sitting there like cross-legged, like on the TV screen. I'm like, I'm watching Star Wars. He goes, "Oh, cool, this is great. Have you?" Like, he goes, which one's your favorite?" I'm like, "I've never seen this." All of a sudden, he goes, "You've never seen Star Wars?" He's like, "Okay, I'll order a pizza, and I'll watch it with you, and I'll leave you alone." And like, I remember my sister tried to come in, like ask me to do something. He's like, "Leave him alone. He's watching Star Wars. He's never seen it. Like, let him have this. Let him enjoy it." And I think like everyone in the house talked to me about something, but I was like in the TV just Star Wars, eating pizza, drinking a whole liter bottle of like a Pepsi. Um,
Hey, Pepsi. Shout out to oh, what's that creature's name from those commercials? Like promoted like the prequels and like was drinking like advertising
oh,
Pepsi.
fudge,
Hold on. Hold on.
fudge.
Pepsi. Pepsi. Pepsi Star Wars. Ah, hold on. He has an official Wikipedia page too. Uh, shoot. Marf Marfalump. Marfalump. Shout out to Marfalump.
Pepsi. Yeah, sure.
Not kidding. I'll post
I know you're
Marfalump.
not kidding.
I'll post Marfalump's uh, thing in the chat. So,
Sci-Fi Channel shows original Star Wars trilogy. I'm just looking it up really quick, just because I want to get the
yes,
exact date of it.
97 was when the special editions came out. So I was right.
So
It's 97.
So it had to be 1996 when I saw all this. It has to be. That makes like the most sense. I was like 11 or it was like 95 or 96, one of those years. Marfa Lump. And so like I basically spent the entire day watching. I watched the entire Star Wars trilogy in one sitting in one day. And of course it was
Me
longer.
too. I did the same thing.
And
Well, yeah. Not
it's
all of them, but like 4, 5, 6.
right, the
In one
OGs.
sitting.
The OGs. And then the THX version came out later, and my mom bought like the trilogy box set, which I still have, by the way, the trilogy box set of the THX versions that came out.
Nice.
And I practically burned those tapes out like a mofo, like watching it every single day, rewinding it to certain parts, memorizing certain lines, like most of us did, and just kept on watching it over and over again. And I've been like trying to gather every source of, other than comics, I couldn't get comics back in the day, like every source of like Star Wars media since.
Has to be all on like paper, pretty much.
Yeah. And
before the internet was a thing.
And sadly, for a while, I stopped being a Star Wars fan for a little bit. So, prequel trilogy, obviously, the Phantom Menace was Darth Maul Obi-Wan fight when I first saw it. It was great, and then, it ended like on a funky, cool, messed up note for Revenge of the Sith, yada yada. Those are the first ones I saw in theaters, and at first I wasn't a fan, but after a while I'm like, you know what? No, this is cool. I like this. All right, whatever. But so it was around maybe when I stopped watching Star Wars, having anything to do with Star Wars, because I didn't see the Clone Wars until Rebels, give or take. Mm-hmm. Like right before Rebels started, that's when I just binge watch like Clone Wars, all like in about a week or so.
Yep.
So it was maybe around 2007, 2008, and I started working out more and getting into this is like the dark times, like Dark Dave. You would not have liked this Dave. No one would have. And I started getting into like MMA and stuff like that because I was doing jiu-jitsu. So I was like, nerd stuff sucks. I want to start dating chicks. So I'm going to stop doing nerd stuff. You think I'm joking. But that's,
I mean, it was during a time where, yeah.
There really wasn't much Star Wars media, and it was a weird time in general for like tap out and stuff. Like, I was one of those jerks that wore a tap out shirt and drank Monster. So yeah, I started just like pulling away from it. I'm like, oh, Star Wars is stupid, nerd stuff is stupid, video games suck. I'm just gonna go to the bar and pick up chicks and whatnot, yada yada. And I mean, I was always like very upset and angry because I guess I wasn't being myself the entire time, because I should have been like Dave who loved Star Wars, not like Monster Extreme, woo, So the MMO for the Old Republic comes out, right?
Oh, yes.
And I'm hanging out with my buddy, and he's like, hey, listen, I just got the MMO for Star Wars at the Old Republic. Why don't you come over and try it and play it? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm not into video games. It's the summer. Let's go to the beach, like chicks. Woo! And he's like, no, man. Like, let me tell you about the dark times, 1983 and 1989. I know those dark times, yes. Oh. No media, no Star Wars, anything. But, so he's like, yeah, just come over to my house, just play it. Just play it. Just give it a shot. I'm like, all right, whatever, So I go over his house. And he sits me in front of his computer, and it's like, you can do the whole character creation, so you can make it look like yourself and all that cool stuff. Yep. So I started playing around maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Next thing I know, I blink, and it's dark out. And it's like 10 o'clock at night. I was playing from 1 to 10 and didn't even realize it. Because I got so engrossed in the game. So I blink, I'm like, where am I? What time is it? How long have I been here for? And he's like, bro... Like, people walked in, saw you playing video games. People sat down to watch you play. Like, he goes, "This is great. Welcome back to the cause, brother. Like, you're back." And I'm like, "What happened? What's going on?" And then I started slowly getting back into it. And what got me into doing. Actually, let me grab it really quick. Let me stand up real quick.
I have to look at the stream to like see what you're.
There we go. So, what got me back into Star Wars fully and getting into cosplay was this. My very first Ultra Sabers battle ready lightsaber. That's what got me. Hold up, which Star Wars game? The Old Republic, the MMO. Not Knights of the Old Republic, Royal Farm Boy, but the Old Republic. But yeah,
now just seeing you grab the saber on stream. Okay. Okay. Ooh, okay, okay.
Yep. So this pipe bomb here basically like got me back into Star Wars. Like it was my buddy Yuha and we wanted to get like the Force Effects lightsabers. But he's like, you're rough with your toys. I think you'll probably break a Force Effects. There's gotta be battle ready ones out there, or combat ones. Let's see if we can find it. And that's when we discovered this. So I saw this, like it spoke to me like on the website, and I'm like, oh snap, like that's really cool. But then I forgot about it. So sure enough, my buddy Yuha, being Yuha, bought it for me without telling me, right? So then it shows up, this big like oblong Toblerone looking box, like a triangle shaped box shows up to my house. I'm like, what the F is this? So I pull it out and I ignite it, and all of a sudden, like, it just, obviously when you first ignite your first Ultra Saber or first like lightsaber, it's just ignite it, sound, light, and I'm like, holy crap, it's the lightsaber, and it works. And then it turned into, from there, I called him up, thanked him, he said, welcome back to being a nerd, So I'm like, neat, okay. Now I have to find friends to play with, now that I have a lightsaber, because I can't be the only one chasing the cat around the house, like I am your father. Like, I couldn't do that, so I went like on a Facebook group. I found what Saber Guild used to be here in Connecticut, CT Jedi. And I found other people who do the same thing, who have battle ray lightsabers. I'm like, oh, let me get into that and find these people. I found them and started practicing lightsaber stuff in a park in Milford. And then I got into my first Star Wars cosplay, and then I've been doing it like ever since. My first ever cosplay was Star Wars, a Sith Lord. And yeah, I've been hardcore into it. Like,
what year did you get approved?
2019 I got approved. So
like same year as me.
Yeah.
Pretty much. When
So
I got my
Real Farm Boy, poor cat. So I've been part of a costuming group for Star Wars for almost like 10 years now, give or take. Because I started rolling with them in 2014, 2015, around there.
10 years, that's less than that.
Well, I got approved in 2019, but I've been hanging out. I've been officially approved in costume, but I've been doing. So CT Jedi was the precursor to Saber Guild. So here in Connecticut, so CT Jedi, you could be a Sith or Jedi, but it wasn't too. It didn't have to be too screen accurate, basically.
Sure.
So you could pretty much be wearing like a Ren Fair costume, but as long as you had a lightsaber, it kind of counted. And that was like the whole like rigmarole behind it. So I was there was a similar club in Boston too. It was like unofficial, but it's since been disbanded pretty much. Yeah, and that's what we were. We were unofficial, and then we did a couple troops at that unofficial group, and did a couple, conventions and whatnot. So it was cool in that costume. And then around 2015 or 16, right around The Force Awakens, that's when our temple started here in Connecticut. And then I was able to free up a lot of free time, and then I got an official costume in 2019. And I've been official ever since, basically. Since 2019. Like, doing this.
Rainbow.
Yep. I've been the bad guy for our temple. If you want to see our costumes, definitely find us on Instagram.
At Kessel CT, actually no, ET Saber Guild on Instagram.
Yep. Danke, danke.
Um, yeah, I need to work on my Dark Ray for Saber Guild,
It
which is technically approvable now. So
is. It
yeah,
is. You found out before
very
I
exciting.
did, which was like amazing.
Yes, because of the Ray group.
Like you put it in like so obviously we're part of like a bunch of chats for our clubs and whatnot.
Yeah.
And Millie puts it in the chat and I'm like shocked. I'm like, is she serious? How'd she know that?
Well, well, the Ray group is like unaffiliated with Rebel Legion, so it's like for all Ray cosplayers. But like some of the people in there are like affiliated with all the costuming, like all those Lucasfilm, like affiliated like costuming clubs. So happened to get that info from one of the fellow Saber Guild members in that Facebook group. So
What's funny because when I posted that, when I asked the question about it in our costuming chat for like the other costuming people,
yeah,
one of them messaged me like privately, and she's like, "How the fuck did you know about that?" She's like, "We literally just talked about it in leadership. How the fuck did you know about that?" And I'm like, "Look, man, I mean, no one got in trouble, but she was just like spooked. She's like, "How did you know about that? Like who are you spying on?" I'm like, I just have friends. I know, man. Like, so I'm excited to see you do that
so
costume.
it's not my fault. I found out in the Ray Facebook group. It wasn't me who found out first. So
So, with that said, and we're talking about costumes and stuff, what is your favorite costume at the moment that you have?
most comfortable one to troop in right now, like in the hot weather, is like Jakku Ray for sure. It's the most recognizable. It's the
Mm-hmm.
most comfortable. It's suitable for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, that costume is my favorite
Nice.
troop as. So,
Other than Dark Ray, what's your favorite costume you're looking to do right now?
so yeah, other than Dark Ray, I want to do Baru from Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do Hux. I want to do Dr. Afra. Let's see. In progress costumes. Technically, I have a Resistance Ray, like my Resistance Ray upgrade, like half complete because I have my Training Ray approved. So we're halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's all I could think of at the moment. Those are my costumes I'm looking forward to make.
Nice. So obviously,
How about yourself?
so I have my Sith Lord, which it's always fun to wear, and it's very easy for me to make him make that Sith Lord intimidating because I'm like 6'2". So like with all like my hair, the beard, the black cloaks and everything, it just looks even adult. And that's the thing I love about cosplay is like I've intimidated adults in that costume. Like
Of course. I mean, you put on the Sith eyes also.
exactly, yeah. And like especially with my complexion, those eyes like glow from far away.
Hmm.
But the ones I'm working on that my dream ones for if not even Saber Guild just to have that would look dope would be Kylo Ren, The Force Awakens
Yes.
Kylo Ren.
Hmm.
Because I just love that costume. I actually have a funny story about that also. Black Chrysanthemum. Because,
Ooh.
yeah, oh my god. I'm looking
There
at on
has to be a
Inst-
Facebook group for that.
Oh, there is. I found it. Like these guys,
Good, good.
these guys are
Okay,
nuts, like freaking nuts. So
good.
everything is handmade.
Glad.
Like they basically make a ghillie suit for
Yes.
their Wookiees.
Understand that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've
And
seen people's work in progress threads on the Rebel Legion forums.
mm-hmm.
So, yes, Rebel Legion has forums for everybody. So, there you go.
Hang on, let me just look at what Rural Farm Boy said. Like 11th photo, CT, Saber Guild.
How did Farm Boy find? Unless he's looking at the Instagram that I mentioned,
Yeah.
probably.
11th photo. Yeah, it's most likely me. You see,
I
depending
remember
on.
Farm Boy mentioning earlier that he was a former or was a 501st member.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I do love me some 501st. Stormtrooper, obviously, but I'm a little conflicted to what Stormtrooper I want to do. Because I can only do one, obviously.
Yep.
So it's
I
either...
mean, if you love the sequels, I do like First Order TK.
Well, the only thing I don't like about that First Order TKs is they look too clean. You know what I mean? OG Stormtroopers, like from the trilogy, were like dirty and messed up. Clone
Yeah.
Troopers like looked all dirty and messed up, and they had more customized like even when I'm playing Battlefront 2, like with my cousin, like on the PC, whenever we play as the First Order TKs, I hate it only because they look so clean. They're too clean. They're too damn clean.
Speaking of TKs, Farm Boy was a TK, so Farm Boy will have some TK experience there.
But it's like either A, I want to be a Purge Trooper because I love the way the Purge Troopers look. Um, Death Trooper, like
Rogue
Krennic.
One Death Trooper.
Yep, like the Krennic's guy is a Death Trooper. So I like the way they
We
look.
have one. We have a few in our garrison here locally.
And they look dope. When I play them
Mm.
in Battlefront, I just love. They're like one of my favorite units to play in Battlefront because their blaster is really good. They can eat a lot of hits because of their armor, and they just do cool shit in Battlefront. So it's Burst Trooper or Shadow Trooper, and a regular Sand Trooper with the Pauldron and the heavy blaster.
What about like a non-armored like character like
So I do just want to be your basic Rebel Trooper. Either Rebel Trooper from
Rebel Fleet Trooper?
Endor or...
Oh, okay, that. Okay.
Yep. So either Endor Rebel Trooper or like one of the Rebel Troopers from Rogue One, like the Marines that like land on Scarif.
Yes. Okay, I know exactly what you mean.
Yep.
Yep.
Because that way the beard makes sense and like all that. I look like I've like
Sure.
seen some damage.
Oh.
I'm close, Roll Farm Boy. I'm 6'2", so I can make it work. I can make it work for the Death Troopers. But yeah, those would be my dream cosplays once I can afford it and make them.
That would be like your light side costume.
Yep, my light side costume. I do eventually.
Would you do a Jedi?
I
Like,
want
Would
to.
you do a Jedi?
I want to do a Jedi. I've been thinking about it for a while. After the Rise of Skywalker, I wanted to make a Jedi. Like that inspired me to create a Jedi.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, so like I'm not sure if I want it to be the light side version of my Sith, or if I just want to be a completely different character altogether. I do want him to be a dual wielder using a blue saber and a yellow saber.
Sure.
Like the color
I can
schemes.
see you have your like hair pulled back into ponytail, kind of like Count Dooku.
Yeah, like just really slick back.
Like, mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do want to make a Jedi. I just gotta see which costume works the best for me. Because I'm dead set on doing either Kylo Ren or Black Chrysanthemum. Especially Black Chrysanthemum. He just looks dope.
Oh yeah.
And like
I mean, there's a Black Chrysanthemum like CRL like from the comics.
Yep,
So.
I've seen it. I've seen it. So I'm just gotta start making it, saving up money for it.
Mm. Oh yeah, 501st like any costuming like any like Green Actor Costume Club costumes tend to be really expensive. So
Yar.
this is why like Rebel Legion like any like detachment forms, Rebel Legion forms, Facebook groups, you name them. Good idea to look through those like build threads and whatnot and those groups to find out what you need.
Favorite movie from the saga? If you had to pick.
Oh God.
If you had to
God.
pick.
Just one? Okay.
Or do you want me to... Should we make it easier?
Yes, make it easier.
Favorite movie from each trilogy?
Okay. Equals Revenge of the Sith.
Same.
Original trilogy, Empire.
Same.
Oh God. Okay. Sequel trilogy. Oh gosh. So this is like picking a favorite child for this one. So you know what? Force Awakens.
Force
I'll go with
Awakens.
Force Awakens.
So me, it's between for the sequel trilogy. Oh, Nerd Herd podcast. Thank you for coming. Better late than never, my friend. Better late than never.
Hello, hello, hello. Oh, and if I had to pick between Rogue One and Solo, are we Solo fans? I want to say Rogue One. I I just like the like aesthetic of that,
Me,
but
same.
I also like Solo, but I like Rogue One a little bit more. But I am on the boat for hashtag make Solo 2 happen. I don't
Mm-hmm.
care.
Yep.
So,
I think
oh, and I also want to do Kira. That was the costume I forgot. Kira is a costume I also want to do for 501st. So.
I personally think if they're gonna do another Solo, and then I'll get to best of my favorite for the sequel trilogy. If they're gonna do another Solo, I think they're better off doing a series right now
Agree.
because they can
I think,
tell so
yeah,
much more with that. I believe.
I agree. Like, so much content.
Mm-hmm. But favorite sequel trilogy is between. It's between the Last Jedi and the Phantom Menace. It's between one of
Oh,
those two. Like,
okay.
I mean,
Okay.
the Rise of Skywalker. I feel like, I mean, I'm not bashing it. I just feel like they did way too much fan service to fix the
Agree.
issues fans had in the Last Jedi. Like Disney should have just like doubled down. Like, you know what? Whatever, we're just going with it. Whatever Ryan Johnson did, we're just double downing and we're just going with it and just continuing that story. Um, but The Force Awakens I like because it opens up a whole by itself. It opens up a whole new world of possibilities. Like, who is Rey? Who is Snoke? Like, how did Kylo Ren become Kylo Ren? Or how did Ben Solo become Kylo Ren? It just opened up all these questions. But The Last Jedi also because one of the, in my opinion, the of the sequel trilogy, it is probably the most beautifully shot of those three movies. The cinematography is just
Oh, yeah.
gorgeous, gorgeous. And Ryan Johnson, yeah, sure, he kind of like put the story on its head, sure, whatever. But he's a fantastic director, and there's the opening scene at the beginning of the Last Jedi. Is so I'm trying to paint it correctly, but the
Onyx is literally the first character to show up in the first scene, just
mm-hmm,
so you know. So
it's
it was on Descartes, like they were like walking, and Connix sees like the Force Order ship.
yep, and
They had to.
it's just like that. So it's so because we never saw that before in any of the Star Wars. We should have seen it like in
Oh,
the deleted
I
scenes
think
in A New Hope.
this is like the first like Star Wars movie that takes place directly after the predecessing movie.
Yep, absolutely,
There's
yeah,
no time jump; it just goes
right
straight
into
into
it.
like right on right at the very last like moment where like in The Force Awakens, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
So
there's like so I'm trying so Poe is coming in and
mhm.
like Poe like literally flies by the windows of the bridge and the whole bridge shakes of like of the Death Star or not Death Star, I'm sorry, of the Star Destroyer they're on like the like
Star Destroyer.
the Star Destroyer. And it's done in a cool way where the camera's like panning back and it goes from in space into the cockpit into like the captain yelling, you know, destroy that fighter. Like it is such a cool scene the way he does it. And sure, he turns the story on its he turns the story around. Like he made Rey not her parents not matter. Which if you're a follower of the Force, it makes sense because the Force is trying to create balance. Um, and yeah, it's just between those two when it comes to sequel trilogy. Um, but yeah, if you could change one thing in Star Wars, what would it be?
Um. Oh, this is gonna take me a while. I have no idea. Oh God. Oh God. I mean, so during the like phase where like before the Rise of Skywalker came out, we were all kind of theorizing who Rey would be related to. And I was like, Rey Kenobi. For some reason I was at the time I was like in the Rey Kenobi boat.
Same.
Um, but yeah, I was in that boat, and I was like, then like after the Rise of Skywalker came out, I like thought about it more. I was like, all right, I came to accept like Rey was like now a Skywalker uh as a choice. So um, although I kind of wish at the end of Rise of Sky the Rise of Skywalker, I wish you would have said Rey Solo. Because
Y-
number one, like
yeah.
she loved Ben, and I feel like she'd honor him if she became a Solo. I don't know. And technically, she's already technically Solo alive in the Force. I don't feel me.
Yeah.
Feel me.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It also makes sense. Like I don't know. I don't know. My brain is like, I just want Rey and Ben to be a thing.
Raylo.
Actually, you know what? I wanted Ben to redeem himself and live. That's what I wanted.
A buddy of
So,
mine, he had a really
but
good.
that will be my Star Wars change, and I honestly I doubt it will happen, but well, it is what it is.
I had a buddy of mine
So
who said like very exactly similar to what you said, where
really,
he wished like
oh
Ben survived at the end, but
yes,
and this is obviously after like all the series started coming out, and he said
sure.
how dope it would have been if like Ben survived at the end, and then we get like a series of Ben Solo going around the galaxy undoing the stuff he did as the First Order.
Ooh. I also remember seeing like, oh, Worlds Between Worlds is now also a thing, and like I can implement that. Like Ray using the World Between Worlds to try and bring Ray back, similarly to what Ezra did in Rebels.
Right.
But yeah, there's that too. I personally wouldn't want that. I don't know how they'd pull that off in live action if they did it in live action, but
And not upset a
I'd
bunch of
I'd rather
neckbeards.
I'd prefer the realistic way of like Ben living, just living.
Mm-hmm.
No world between worlds, just like him, like obviously force healing like Ray and living.
For those of you watching us
So
after the fact, in the comments below, again, please tell us your Star Wars story, what got you into Star Wars, and also what I might be opening a can of worms here. What you would change in the Star Wars universe, and please do not make it toxic. Like I would destroy the sequel trilogy.
please
No,
don't.
we will go out of our way to remove those comments. Like we're being like very,
Yes,
like
we
for instance,
will.
yeah, we'll get rid of those. Trust me.
Yeah.
Like for instance, what I would change, and it'd be in the like in the prequel trilogy. The big thing I would change is I would make Naboo into Alderaan, because I feel like
Ooh,
that would have made more sense if Naboo was Alderaan.
interesting.
The exact same story, the exact same everything, with like
Interesting.
the Trade Federation and like them doing the embargo and having a blockade and all that stuff, but it's on Alderaan, because then it makes more
That would be
sense
cool.
why Leia would go back to Alderaan after the events of Revenge of the Sith, and why Bail and Bail Organa was like really involved with everything going on with Queen Amidala. You know, it would make more
Yeah.
sense. And I would probably, rather than make, and it would change the story way too much, but would rather than make um, Anakin my Star Wars story in the comments, it's 45 years long. That's right. That's fine, Roll Farm Boy. If you want to write a novel about your Star Wars story, go ahead, brother. Like, go knock yourself out. Give us engagement. Give us likes. Tell us your story.
Honestly, YouTube comments have no limit, so
That's
I do
true.
that on YouTube.
A lot. um, so rather than finding Anakin on Tatooine, it'd be Padme they find on Tatooine, and
Oh.
Anakin is already a Jedi, so he's like Obi-Wan's age.
Okay.
You see, so he's already a
He's
Jedi.
like completely AU territory. All right, got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
just so it because it would use me scrolling for days. Um,
Like, okay, but like, who would be his master? Like, would Obi-Wan be his master, or would like Qui-Gon be training both Anakin and Obi-Wan
I mean,
first?
it could be that, or it just could be Obi-Wan's already training Anakin. Like Obi-Wan's already a Jedi and he's training Anakin Skywalker.
But wouldn't it make sense story-wise to have maybe Qui-Gon training both Obi-Wan and Anakin, and they both be his like Qui-Gon's Padawan, and then Qui-Gon dies, and Obi-Wan kind of has to like
Finish with
train him
Anakin,
because he's a little older, you
right?
know?
Yeah,
Wouldn't that make sense?
that's why I'm saying like that.
Then because
That's
then that Darth Maul fight would like still make sense.
and that's why like I'm a little. That's why that's the other change I'm like kind of hesitant on because it changes the story. Yeah, it makes it more cohesive with what happens in the original trilogy, more or less. But it kind of changes a lot, way too much in the
Yeah, it
prequel
would be
trilogy.
weird. It would be weird if like Padme lived on Tatooine, because then like it just wouldn't make sense.
But if they just made Naboo,
Unless it was like completely alternate universe, Padme's like queen of like Tatooine. That would be badass.
yeah.
But
But yeah,
that would be pretty cool.
but if Naboo was Alderaan, then that little change would make it like a whole big difference and make the story a little bit better. And I would have kept originally what Lucas wanted to do with Anakin using Dooku's saber, not his own saber,
Oh yeah.
because that was something he wanted originally. And I think, oh, in the sequel trilogy, I would have made Finn.
You skipped original trilogy, I believe.
I don't know what I would do in the original trilogy, to be honest. Like I was thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know what I would change in the original trilogy.
I remember seeing like AU fan art of like Luke and Leia swapping like roles.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Like Leia being growing up on Tatooine and Luke growing up on Alderaan.
Yeah, and he's like the spoiled prince, and she's like the rugged, kick your
Mhm.
ass like farm girl.
Yeah, and like I've also seen like AUs where like um Leia and like Vader reveals to Leia that they're related, and Leia like turns to the dark side and whatnot, finds out she's force sensitive and whatnot. Like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Some angst, just throwing some angst there.
Oh, I know what I would change. Like the thing that's always bothered me about the original trilogy, if they gave an actual timeline for how long Luke was on Dagobah and how long the rest of
Ooh.
them were in Cloud City.
Mm.
Because we don't, like, especially going back to the original movies, we don't have an actual timeline for how long they were in these locations. Because
Yeah, it was like it was weird.
the way it's edited, you
Uh
think Luke's been there for a day.
no, it must have been like several weeks. Like a week at least.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I would change the original trilogy. Like how long Luke was actually on Dagobah doing Dagobah things.
So if they showed 6 days later, like would that matter? I don't know.
For me, it would just so I would know. Because like the
All right.
because the
I
OG
mean,
trilogy does like as great as it is.
I'm sure there's an actual canon explanation
Oh, I'm sure.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure there's some article like on Wikipedia that'll say how long Luke's been on Dagobah.
Because like the original trilogy, like it's great, but it does a bad job of like how long things take. Like how long was he on
There's
Dagobah?
also there's also the novels out there. I mean, some are canon, some are not, but like
Right.
there might be answers in there. I don't know. I haven't read them, so
And I think for the sequel trilogy, Finn would be force sensitive from the get go. Like I know it's kind of mentioned and
it's
kind of
implied in the
implied,
3 movies.
but it's like you know like from the first movie he's force sensitive, and both him and Rey go to train with Luke Skywalker.
That would be dope.
Right? Because I think that would because the force is balance. So
Yeah.
like Kylo Ren and Snoke are so powerful in the dark side that
Yep.
that the force creates them to balance it out and take out the dark side.
I feel like everybody wanted Finn to be like so a Jedi from
Yeah.
the get go.
I mean, I'm sure you've seen the fan art of like
Yeah.
the so-called like Disney Plus series of like Finn and Rey going around the galaxy doing stuff like that'd be cool.
Got that in the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special, and that's really not considered canon. We want a canon series. We want a canon like explanation of like how like Rey is gonna train Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's that Lego special and the upcoming summer like Lego summer holiday special. Lego Star Wars summer vacation special. Like it's gonna delve into Finn's force sensitivity, and that's technically not canon, and I'm so pissed off about that.
Come on, Disney, be brave. Let's do
I
this.
wish
Come
it
on,
was.
give us a
I
series.
wish, please, Disney, give us a canon force sensitive Finn story. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care if it's in a comic book, like video game. I don't care. I just want it to be canon and not in Lego
Oh,
form.
that would be so cool to play. Oh, as a video game. Oh,
Exactly. Not a Lego game. No, no Lego games, because that's technically not canon either. So.
but you're playing as Finn, doing his training from Rey.
Yes,
Oh,
and is giving advice from the like Force Ghost because we see that in the Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation trailer. Oh my God, we see him interact with Obi-Wan for Christ's sake.
yeah. Oh, that would be so cool. Not you mention
Oh.
it. Ah, oh,
So it's canonically implied, kind of, that
right.
Finn can talk to Force Ghosts. So, well,
Come on, Disney,
just
do it.
saying, Disney, if you're watching this, please just give us some Force sensitive Finn content and Jedi Master Ray content, like please.
Mm-hmm.
We need more sequel crumbs. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Like, yes, we understand nerds will be upset. That's fine. They're gonna be upset with
Uh,
whatever you do. Just do it for fuck's sake. For fuck's sake.
like Disney has already pleased the original trilogy fans as well as the sequel trilogy fans or prequel trilogy fans. Sorry, prequels and original trilogy fans from the Disney Plus shows we've gotten thus far.
Yep.
Give us something sequel related for a upcoming show,
Mm-hmm.
please. Announce something like that at D23 in September, and I'll be pleased. So you have 2 months, so
Also, Disney,
think about it.
please give us a bearded like Quinlan Voss, so I can be him for what's it called? Be him for Saber Guild. Give me a solo sequel with a force sensitive Han. Hey Skater, I think I know who Skater is. The Alrighty Dave. I think I know who you are. I never liked that about the old canon or the legends when they said like Han was force sensitive, but he never really used the force. That always bothered me whenever people would say that because it's like,
Yeah, I remember seeing theories that he was like
yeah,
or sensitive,
yeah.
like
I just like the idea he can do what he can do because he's just a guy, a regular run of the
yeah.
mill human being.
I wouldn't want him to be force sensitive
Yeah.
personally. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I feel like it wouldn't be right. Everybody was force sensitive and they just don't know it. Like it's just it'd be just realistic just to be a guy, Not have like force sensitive abilities.
Corey Darnbush noted. Granted, I would need to get into story, and Kenny needs to sign off. What do you mean, Corey? Real quick, like, I mean, he was a master pilot, amazing at cards and etc. Yeah, but I mean, like, I'm happy with him being a master at that, just being a dude, a person. You know what I mean? Like, force sensitivity, I think, takes away from him, from his character. But that's just me. That's just me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Favorite scene from any movie? Pick one if you had to.
Definitely, like, first thing that pops to mind would be the Last Jedi throne room scene.
Ooh, that's a
When
good scene.
Kylo and Rey team up. Like, oh my god, that scene is my favorite from the sequels, like, period, hands down.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was something I wanted, like, in the beginning. Like, I wanted Rey and Kylo to team up.
Yep.
After watching The Force Awakens, I, like, wanted them to team up, like, against a common foe. Like, come on! Like, we got a sense that, like, Snoke was, like, you know, what's the word? Like, wow, it's slipping my, it's like, it's there, it's on the tip of my tongue.
I literally just watched Millie.exe fail. Millie.exe has encountered an error.
Like, oh my god. What's the word?
You're asking me? I can barely speak English some days.
I forget. But, like, yeah, like, Kylo really doesn't want to be, like, under Snoke's control, you know? Like,
Yeah.
and he just wants to end it all. Like, he wants to be a leader now and control everything, you know? Like, wants to be supreme leader. So, yeah, that was my favorite scene in the sequels. Oh god, Mustafar fight's definitely my favorite from the prequels.
Yeah,
because it's the most emotional to me personally. Like,
Yep.
yes, the Darth Maul fight is great and all, like, but nothing can beat Mustafar. Like, it's also very iconic, like, for the memes. So.
Skater just said it, like, right in the
hashtag prequel memes.
Skater just said it right in the chat. Like, Anakin, don't try it, Anakin. I have the high ground. You understate my power. Zap, zap.
Yes. That would be freaking awesome if Anakin had, like, Force lightning. Like, he learned that from Palps. That would have been pretty dope.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. But hey, Rey has it now too, so Jedi can have Force sensitive lightning. Or Force lightning. Force sensitive lightning. What am I saying? Okay. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, favorite scenes from movies. So I said my thing for sequels and prequels. Original trilogy. God. Iconic I'm Your Father scene.
Yeah, that's a good scene. That's
Empire.
A powerful scene.
Very powerful scene.
Like,
Gosh. That's like, honestly, every iconic scene from
the OG trilogy.
The OG is, like, my favorite. Well, the Empire one sticks out to me the most.
The Empire one? Oh, well,
Yeah,
I'm your father. Yeah.
No, I am your father. Yeah.
I am your father. That's not true. That's impossible.
I mean, it was also mind blowing when I first saw it. So. That's like most iconic one to me.
I think Anakin never had to push past the need of power, where you see Rey extended past her need for force pushing to force lightning. That's very interesting, Skater. Huh. I never would have thought of that.
I mean, after he watched, like, Palps electrocuting himself, like, after he killed Mace, before he killed Mace, I don't remember, but, like, he probably saw that Force lightning and, like, nah, I'm not gonna try it.
Yeah.
Too dangerous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Interesting. I never would have thought of that, Skater. Good eye on that. So for the sequel trilogy, my favorite scene is from The Force Awakens when Rey and Kylo are fighting each other, and they had like that
Oh,
classic
on Star
stance.
Killer.
Yep, and they had that classic stance where like his down, like Luke's saber is up, and they're kind of
Yes.
holding each other. I
Oh
love
yes.
that scene.
Love that scene.
For Castle Temple, we do have a Rey, and she likes working
Have a
with
couple, yeah.
she likes working with me with stuff because she's kind of tall. She's like 5'10", 5'11", and she's like,
Okay, I know which one you mean.
yep, and she's like, I want to fight you for PTIs and things because it makes more sense me fighting you being your height and size, and it looks more like it's a struggle. Every other Sith is kind of smaller than I
Short.
am, so it doesn't make any
Yes.
sense. So that I want to do that scene like that between her Rey
Oh,
and my Sith, but
yes.
Rey fights dirty. I don't care what anyone says. That's what I love about Rey. She will fight dirty. She will hit
I
you
think you'll
if she
also
has to.
have to study. You'll also have to study Kylo's saber moves when you eventually
Get to that point.
get to that point.
But what I want her to do is it's like kind of a mix between that and I know we're jumping around a lot. Mix between that and um Justice League movie with Wonder Woman and Superman, where obviously I'm the bad guy and it's Rey, and we're kind of like doing that stance, right?
Sure.
And all of a sudden, like I go and I headbutt Rey, and like I make it sell the headbutt. Rey goes back and she eats it, and then she headbutts my character, and I actually let go because she hits me really hard, harder than I thought she would hit me. And it's kind of like similar to Justice League, where Superman first he headbutts Wonder Woman, and she headbutts him back, and actually shakes him. He's like, "Oh shit, I got hit really hard by Wonder Woman, fuck!" And then he has to cheat to basically beat Wonder Woman in a headbutting contest. It's weird. It makes no sense, but if you see it, it's gonna look cool. But see prequel trilogy, same thing. The fight on Mustafar. That's such a great, strong scene. And for the original trilogy, it's between two. Obviously, Binary Sunset.
Oh yes.
I will.
Yes.
Yep.
I forgot about that one.
Watching when I was a kid, I'll never forget that. I actually eventually want to get a tattoo of Binary Sunset, like right here, like on my behind my shoulder. And it's such a little simple scene, but I love it. It's from Empire Strikes Back, and it's when
Okay.
they're in the Ewok village on Endor, and C-3PO is retelling the story of the entire saga to the Ewoks.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
I don't know. Ever since I was a little kid when I first saw it, I love that scene. It's just him telling the story. And he like, and then like R2 says something. Yes, R2. I was getting to that. Like, I don't know why I've always loved that scene, but every time it comes on, I have to stop everyone else. Like, everyone, shut up! It's my scene. Then they do it. I'm like, ah.
What
But
about from like Solo or Rogue One, if you had to, if
oof.
you have any favorites?
So from Rogue One, it's tough because I really do love the hallway scene with Vader.
Oh, me too. Me
Yep,
too.
that's a big scene. Um, the whew, I think the entire battle in Scarif I love.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because
So
I,
intense.
it's like I tell everyone it's the Saving Private Ryan moment of that entire saga.
Yeah. And it also like when you like if you look closely enough in some shots you see like recycled like footage from A New Hope,
Yep,
some of the pilot shots. That's really cool.
yep.
Like I like that. I
Like
also like the Yavin 4 scenes just because I'm a fan of rebel officers.
right.
So so I like those scenes as well.
like Scarif.
Oh, and also Leia showing up at the end.
Oh
Rogue
yeah.
One. That was also my favorite scene. It also hit pretty hard after Carrie died,
Yeah, it
so
did. Yeah. Skater said, in Rogue One, where she shoots the droid and he walks in, he was like, "Were you trying to shoot me?"
um oh, my favorite scene from Solo would have to be the Darth Maul scene.
Oh yeah.
I was freaking out in the theater when I saw that reveal because
Mm-hmm.
it didn't occur to me that Crimson Dawn equals like Darth Maul until like that scene. I was like, oh, so that's why it's called Crimson Dawn. Oh,
Did you know that wasn't
yeah.
me?
So Crimson Dawn, if you think about it, is like a reference to like Red and Black, aka Darth Maul's like skin tone, I guess.
Yep.
So just flew over my head when I heard that
Bless you.
for the first time.
I think for me in Solo, assume like right when we get introduced to Donald Glover as Lando Calrissian, because he is Lando in that movie. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Just like the way he speaks. Everything you heard about me is true, baby. Like just how he speaks and just what he says. It's anytime Donald Glover was on screen as Lando, I loved it. I thought it was dope.
Pansexual king.
What happened?
Pansexual king. Lando's a pansexual king.
Yeah,
It's
he is.
canon.
Yeah, he is.
Canon.
Everything you heard about me is true, baby. Man, I think that's pretty. What else? What else we need? Oh, we didn't even get into like what we liked in the shows in the series. Fudge.
Oh no.
That's
Oh god.
that's a lot of stuff to talk about right there.
I mean, we just talked about Kenobi, so we won't get into Kenobi.
Yeah, we're not into
'cause
Kenobi.
We just spent several episodes just talking about that.
Yep. And you can find those on our channel if you want to listen to them. And eventually, I will get them on our audio podcasting stuff. Stay tuned to that, to our Twitter, if you want to hear more about that.
That's still a work in progress.
Yes, it is. What are you looking forward to in Star Wars, if anything, that we're getting soon when it comes to series and shows and things?
The next thing, the next thing, which is coming out next month in August, is like I mentioned before, the Lego Star Wars Summer Vacation special, where it's centered on Finn and his Force sensitivity, and I'm really excited for that because I'm a sucker for sequel content, and we really need some sequel content right now. So, yeah, so there's that. There's Bad Batch Season 2 in September, most likely. D23 Expo is also in September, so maybe we'll find out the official release date then. But I don't know. I feel like we're going to get more Star Wars reveals during D23 in September, so...
When's the Cassian thing? I forgot. Holy crap.
Oh god, Cassian is also in August, I think.
So that's coming soon.
Yeah, so Andor is also coming fairly soon, in a couple months or so.
Let me look it up real quick, just so we know.
It's either in August or September. I think it's in August. Because then it would give Bad Batch time to shine. Also, it would make sense if it was in August because Scarif Beach Party is a song, and obviously Scarif's a planet in Rogue One, so... So...
Wow, August 31st, that's when it drops.
I was right. Okay,
yeah.
Well...
And Bad Batch will be September 28th, so we'll have a whole month of... Wow!
Oh, yeah. Unofficially August 28th. It wasn't officially announced on the social medias, but it was kind of leaked on Disney Plus for a bit.
So we're essentially going to have, like,
full month.
If stuff is right. Content. Yeah, like 2 months of, like, straight Star Wars content. Holy shite.
Wait, there are, like, way more than, like, 6 episodes coming out for Andor, correct? Or are there 6 episodes coming out each week?
I think it was, like, 6...
No, it would make sense if it was 6 episodes each week, like 1 episode for each week, and it's 6 episodes. So it'd be an entire month worth of Andor content to cover. Actually, wait, no, but then it would bleed into Bad Batch Season 2.
So that's maybe, like, Bad Batch will be, like, almost in October then.
It's like, I think it's gonna blend into, like, the Bad Batch premiere, I feel like.
Hang on,
I mean, that's what they did before. I mean, they did that with Ms. Marvel and Kenobi same day.
2, 3,
When
4.
when they were coming out simultaneously. Speaking of, Miss Marvel comes out tomorrow. Like the new episode comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, it does.
So,
Yeah, it does.
completely unrelated to Star Wars, but we're also Marvel fans. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm a Marvel fan. I don't know about Dave.
Of
But
course.
I'm
You
a
kidding
Marvel
me?
fan. Okay, I'm not. I wasn't 100% sure. I didn't want to assume, you know.
I mean,
So
I am going to have some Kenobi withdrawal tomorrow, like because obviously we're not going to have it, but mostly because Jen and I would use Kenobi, not Kenobi. I'm sorry, Miss Marvel as at least up until the last episode. Last episode was like rough, but we were using Miss Marvel as a palate cleanser for Kenobi because Kenobi was always like
yeah.
heavy. And it's like, all right, now that we're done with that, let's get into Miss Marvel and go to bed happy and not sad about what just happened in Kenobi. Skater said in the comments, okay, question. Recently I saw an animated Third Sister commercial thing where it was her saber and it was African American character, same person, but she was wearing rebel-like clothing and short hair. 3D commercial thing? What? Was this fan art or was it official?
Why am I thinking of Jedi Fallen Order and that character is Sarah?
Oh, that's what he's probably thinking of.
It was a commercial. Must have been official. I think it must have been like one of the Jedi Fallen Orders promos from like 2017.
Probably. Jedi.
And like, or you're probably thinking of Trilla. They're like similar characters.
True, yeah.
Like Sarah was the master. Spoiler alert. Like
Yeah.
a 5-year-old game.
I don't think I see anything yet. But she was rebel-like clothing and short hair. Yeah, I think he's thinking of
Must have been Sarah.
Yeah.
Fallen Order, because that's the only person I could think of that has a lightsaber. It's Rebel well, yeah.
Yeah, cause she uses
It's 3D, so
yeah. But she uses you just said her name too, like the second sister's lightsaber at the end.
yeah. Yeah, it's like during like the final battle
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
on Fortress Inquisitorius.
Mm-hmm. The thing I love about whenever I watch any of the Star Wars shows and movies now and playing all the new video games coming out for Star Wars is like whenever they go to a planet, I just say out loud because it just pops in my head whenever we're watching it. I just tell my wife, "I fought there. That's a tough level," or "I fought that," or like "I died on that level." And she's always like, "You sound like you have like PTSD from a battle." It's like I fought there, I fought there, I fought this. I'm like, I have. I fought Rancors. They're tough. Like in Fallen Order, like doesn't matter what level you're at. Rancors are tough no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, friends, I think we're at time and things. Millie, any closing thoughts on Star Wars in general? Other than
I want more sequel content. I want more non-Lego sequel content. Please, Lucasfilm, if you're listening, Disney Lucasfilm, please give us some non-Lego sequel content. I don't care if it's in the form of a comic or video game, cartoon. Just give it, please. Please and thank you. Much appreciated.
I agree. Like I would love just give me John Boyega in a series learning to be a Jedi as Finn. Just give me that. That's what I want. Using like a funky colored lightsaber. It could be yellow, could be blue, green, whatever you want to give them.
I also want more Poe content. Yes, I know there's a Poe Dameron comic series, but I just want more Poe Dameron as well.
I agree. But that's it for us tonight. We will be back next Tuesday. Same Ilum time, same Ilum channel.
If you want to plug again our socials for those who missed it?
Oh, of course. So, if you want to follow us on our socials, find us on Twitter at Ilum Radio. You can also find us on Instagram at Ilum Radio as well as TikTok at Ilum Radio. if you want to email us directly about a show idea you have, something you want us to watch and talk about, whatever it may be, send us an email at ilumradiopodcasts@gmail.com. If you want to talk to us directly on our social medias, Millie, where can they find you?
They can follow me on Twitter at me_Halprin, HALPRIN, and on Instagram at Millie_Halprin, MILLIE_HALPRIN.
If you guys want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at Dave the Bearded Menace. You can also follow me on Twitter at The Bearded Menace. I have a TikTok. There's not much on it, but I'm working on that. But it's also Dave the Bearded Menace.
Also have a TikTok, same at as my Instagram handle. So
we're bad at TikTok, even though we shouldn't be.
Well, I recently posted a video, so
oh, never mind.
I'm still kind of working on it, but I'll try to post as much as I can. So,
all right,
I'm more active on Instagram and Twitter. So
I'm bad on TikTok. Let me rephrase that. I am bad at TikTok.
Me too. Me too.
If you guys, I'm not streaming tonight after our show just because I'm a little beat. Obviously, it's like we partied way too hard this weekend. By party too hard
after the holiday, so
yeah. And by party too hard, I mean staying at the beach most of the weekend, which takes a lot out of you, believe it or not, being in the sun that long. But if you want to follow me on stream, come hang out with me on twitch.tv/DaveTheBeardedMenace. I usually stream every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will, again, with that said, we'll see you next week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here on Ilum Radio. We'll see you next time, friends. As always, be easy, stay frosty, and may the Force be with you.
The Force be with you.
Later, guys.
Later, guys. Next week. See you next Tuesday.